Welcome back to the Purpose Over Profits podcast. I'm Jim Floyd, owner of Ascent Total Performance.
And I'm Jeremy Powers, owner of Powers Insurance Experts.
So today we are going to talk about each other in a good way.
Thank goodness.
That was kind of an awkward beginning. So, but anyway,
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. so we thought it'd be a good time. So kind of a 6-month check-in to. So we talked about goals. I think it was an episode right after Christmas, and so we want to check in and talk about kind of where we are, hold ourselves accountable for the things that we talked about needing to do, and we'll kind of see where we are, and then whether we've met those, whether we still have some work to do, that kind of thing.
That's right, man. First of all, how crazy is it that we're here?
Yeah.
To the point where we are having a 6-month check-in. I mean, I feel like we were just opening up Christmas gifts and then getting ready for that podcast that we did back in December and early January yesterday.
Yeah, man. Well, kind of the older you get, the faster time goes.
You would know that all too well. So I'm still,
all these gray hair. Honestly, now we're on video too. I can't hide it or anything.
So it is what it is. All the hanging out with me, people are seeing they're growing. So ultimately, what we're going to do is we each have 3 major goals. If you go back and listen to that episode, hopefully you created goals as well. And you're chasing those, and I'm actually excited about getting together because we're winning in some areas we've got some work to do, but ultimately we're going to hit on these 3 areas. Each of us, we're going to collaborate, talk about those, and look for ways to finish out the year strong, but also take the time to celebrate the wins. Which is something that people just don't do too often. So number 1 for you was organization.
Yeah. So it's been a continuous quest for me and our company. And so I will say that goal is partially met at this point. So a lot of really kind of fleshing out policies, organizational structure. We started with a new software that helps us with a lot of training and building that out. And so we're still in the process of building everything out. I think it's going to be a really good thing. And once that's done, then we're really, really good. But we are still working on.
So up to month 6, what would you say, because I know we talked a little bit about the 12-week year, things like that. In the process, build me through that. Because obviously you're not all the way there yet, but it's okay. This is your goal for the year.
Yeah.
What did that kind of building out to that level? Was there like a planning phase and an implementation phase? Or
Yeah, so definitely. So we've worked with the whole staff of the company, and then also our executive team as well, of recognizing, so what are the top tier things that we really need to get done that need to be first. And so part of that has been formulation. So we have our company core principles and all that kind of stuff that were established a long time ago. I thought it was time to really revamp those. So that's been one of my big things of working on those, and not just making those, but really defining these things out and making videos that are explaining all these things too, as part of our, that is the base thing in our whole training software.
That's
having that. And so we have those as guideposts for every decision that are made.
Okay. And
so those are the top tier things. The other big things we need, so we've got more staff coming on. And so making sure that we've got this really neat software to use. We need to make sure we're building those things out to be able to take advantage of that when we have new people coming into our company.
Sometimes that's so hard because you're so busy, things are already going. You've got this new shiny toy and you're using 10% of it, which is great, but there's still 90% that can make your life so much easier if you would do it.
So much more potential for doing that. And so we're working through those things. So we've gotten a lot done so far, but we're still got a good bit to do with that. But I'm confident we're going to get it done too.
That's awesome. Well, and it sounds like you've got a plan, obviously, in action, which as we get to some of your future things like delegation and all, I'm sure those are all going to play a part in there as well.
And I think for the plan for just increasing the organization, there's always going to be things that can continue to be worked on with that. But the plan for how we're going to address what we need to now. So, all right, so we still got our list of these are the things that are really important to get done. We're running through those, knocking some stuff out almost every day, and continuing to build it out. So we're getting there, and I really anticipate we're going to be done with this probably by end of third quarter.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
All right, so now switching tables. So Jeremy, your first one was to add those commercial lines and that commercial focus for the agency.
Yeah, and I will say, I know you listen. Shout out Lyndon Graves. I only force my people to listen. No, I'm just playing. No forcing here. But he's an active listener. Man, Lyndon has just absolutely come in. You know, what's great is that it doesn't matter that we are, you know, the smaller agency who's growing into this organization that we are, because if we're willing to and we believe in ourselves, we have the ability to go compete with the big guys. And so I'll share a quick story. You know, we've not only had to chase down carrier appointments, and so there's this one carrier everyone said, oh, there's no way you'll get it, and there's still a few that we're chasing that do feel that way. But one of these carrier appointments, we were able to go and have lunch and communicate with and really share our vision and say, listen, we can't help that we weren't born in 1950 and our agency just somehow always existed. Like, we are younger, we are newer, we are a little bit different, but if you take a chance on us, my joke is always give us a chance to dance. It's my job to do the salsa. I just need the stage, you know, and you have the stage. And so we were given that opportunity, and it really came full circle about a week and a half ago. I'm getting off the plane back from Arizona from a speaking engagement. And, you know, Lyndon had met with this family who was with a much bigger agency, one that has all the weapons that we could dream to have one day. But what they didn't have was Lyndon. And so through forming a relationship, he was able to, 2 weeks before they renewed, they said, you know what, we want you to look at our stuff. Yeah. And so through the relationships that we have, not only was he able to save this organization $15,000, he was able to find inaccuracies in their current policy to help them mitigate loss, as well as to double, if not triple, their coverage in certain areas and add things like cyber. What people don't realize is cyber threats are like 300% up over the past 2 years. And so now we've been able to add a really nice cyber package. And so it's the knowledge and it's the know-how, and it's just a willingness and to be relatable and create the opportunity that won us that account. And this ended up being a $50,000 account. You know, we've gone from maybe a $300,000 commercial book when Lyndon started with the organization, just because I would bring it on every now and then, to I would say we're probably $750,000 as far as that goes, and we're just scratching our potential. Like we're like the rocket's it has fuel in it, but we hadn't even taken off yet. And so I would say that is one thing that I'm very excited about, and it really has nothing to do with me other than my trust and willingness to go and battle for my producers and partners in this organization. Yeah. And man, it's been awesome.
That's really cool. So I'd count that as a goal met. Yeah. But I think one of the cool things too, and I'm gonna give you some props with this, is that you provided the environment to be able to do that too.
Absolutely. Yes. It's an absolute blessing. You know, last year at the Free Times party, we were so honored. It was kind of like my grandmother was pretty ill. And so I just wanted to be like, hey, look, Mom, we made it kind of moment, you know. So I'd try to invite my family and let them see. So we were like the sponsor for the whole party. But what I didn't realize is that, you know, Lyndon is someone that I was trying to get to come into my organization for years. And he had a very cushy 6-figure job working from home, you know, and so as a claims adjuster, so he knows the side of the world, but he wasn't out there having to kill to eat, you know. And so his wife, though, at that party said, you know what? I believe Jeremy's going to be successful. You can join him now. Nice. I always say that investment might not have got me all the leads and this, that, and the other, but it brought me in an absolute awesome partner in business, and that's what he's working towards. You know, if you want to bring in the right people, give them the opportunity to chase the same dreams as you do. Yeah. And so what we did is we have what's called phantom equity. If he produces to a certain number, he can actually trade that into equity in this organization, because anyone who's worthy of it, you've got to give them the opportunity to chase the same dreams you are, or they're most likely going to go out and do it on their own.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so number 2 for you is delegation. Yeah. And so this is a big deal as a business to be able to delegate. Where would you say 6 months in you are here?
Yeah. So definitely made a good bit of progress with that. And I think a lot of the progress has been made mindset wise, of very much before things just need to get done. It was usually the approach of, it's just going to be easier for me to do that, so I'm just go ahead and do it. And so I still have to check myself some with that too. And I'm definitely guilty of still doing it some, not nearly to the extent that I was, and always making sure that I'm thinking about, all right, is this something that I need to be doing, or is this something that someone on our awesome team can do?
Yeah.
And so I'd say 50% accomplished with that. Like with anything, whenever you start to really do something, you're making a big intentional push, you might go a little overboard.
Yeah.
So it kind of went to, I was like, I'm delegating everything. And then I was like, you know what? All right, I kind of need to reel that back a little bit, some too. And so I remember listening to a podcast, and they were talking about, because a lot of times you'll get coached on, okay, oh man, you got to get out of there. You got to delegate and do all this kind of stuff. But then ultimately, if you hadn't set the stage for that, it's not going to end up going very well. And so, so what I found is everybody was doing really good, but that I still needed to provide some guidance. I couldn't just go say, hey, I just need to take care of this. Can you please do this? And not give any direction or anything like that, and expect it to go how I wanted it to go. Sure. And so I started needing to back up a little bit into it, so where I'm still more helping guide than actually doing everything myself, but I'm still involved in it to really coach to make sure we're getting things done the way that we need to get them done, or even just helping somebody else's thought process of getting that through those things too.
Yes. And there's a stressful side of it, but man, there is no feeling like delegating something and it being successful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally a top 3 euphoric feeling in the entire world. Universe is the feeling of you delegated something, you're a little nervous, and then all of a sudden you see it succeed, and you're like, wait a second, what just? I mean, it's a feeling that you chase. It
and
really
I've gotten that, and I've gotten to experience that a lot over the course. And so it's with our leadership team and all of our staff too. It really makes a big. It's really just really nice. It's almost like, they call me the clinic dad, and it's really a really rewarding thing for me to get there to watch our staff grow as they're given more responsibility all that stuff too. So, whether they're in a leadership position or not. So it's just, that's the cool part for me.
That's right. Yeah. And I would say that, 6 months into our podcasting, we're only like a month into our video casting, so bear with us. Our beautiful image here in the background. So we know you guys are awesome, and we just wanted to show you that we're winning a lot. We still fail in certain areas, So I mean, we have a lot of things to be happy about, and so delegation.
And you just picked yourself back up by using the remote and turning your TV back on. Yeah.
You know what? We're back on track.
All right. So switching back to you now. So your second goal was keeping the culture of your agency good as you grow.
That's right. And so, and ultimately for me, I'm going to use I think it's Jim Collins, good to great. I'm going to say that's the thing, is that we accomplished something in 2022. We built a team. Now we have to take it to the next level, because it's not what did you do yesterday, it's what are you doing today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what are you doing for tomorrow? And ultimately for me, this is something that, once again, I quit being an agent for another company. I'm going to open my own business. I spend a month off and I write down everything that it feels like to be an employee, because there's 2 areas I feel like an alien. I drive a Tesla. I have no clue much gas costs, and I don't know what it feels like to be an employee. Yeah. These are things that I'm very intrigued by all the time and I think about, but now that I'm here, I often feel like I get taken advantage of a lot. You know what I mean? But I have to remember, not so long ago, I felt like I was being taken advantage of. And so there's this beautiful median. And I think this year has brought just incredible opportunity for chaos, with the amount of rate increases and the companies that are going out of business and just the marketplace. I mean, in 2021, the insurance industry underwriting loss was like $3.5 billion. In 2022, it was over $27 billion. Man. So when you take that into it, that's a lot that happened, and that's a lot of carriers saying, hey, aren't we in business to make money?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got all this chaos and all these things happening, but believing in your team and saying, listen, we can't do it all, but we can do it the best we can, and I'm going to be there for you, and I'm going to, take you got admin appreciation day last week. We were very blessed to be able to send our staff money to get food, or, Amber from home, and, it was so awesome that she posted about it online. She took a moment to say it, and it was the little thing, but it's, even in the chaos, you can't forget the little things, because the little things are really big things.
Yeah.
Because letting people know that you care about them when they're fighting the battle is just as important is telling them how great they did at an award ceremony once they won.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, what if they had died during the battle? It just would have been a memorial. Like, take care of the people during the battle so they can win. Give them those sparks of hope they need so they can succeed whenever things get really tough. And ultimately, I feel like we are doing the best that we can at that. And I feel like we are winning, but man, do I feel like we could do so much better. You know, I mean, once again, it's one of those things that like you just look at and you have to be thankful for where you are, but you also have to keep pushing forward to say, I believe that we can accomplish more. And so I would say that we've got a lot of work to do to finish this year out strong, but we will win. It's not a question of if.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. We're going to keep it going.
I fully believe that, and I think that's a testament to the leader of your organization.
I want to meet that guy. Yeah. I want to meet that guy. So I'll just play it up. And so number 3, this is a big one. And I think a lot of people that are in an organization get to this point, you want to be able to step away, not for selfish reasons. I mean, it can be a little bit, but also because your family's the whole reason you started this thing.
Yeah. So with this is another partially met goal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big intention there, and it's kind of been up and down a little bit. So we've been fortunate to have every month since really December is growth, big time growth.
That's great.
And having more and more business coming in. And one of the challenges with that is having enough staff to be able to handle that business too. And so sometimes it is where I need to step in and I need to see a little bit more patience than I would originally intend, to where before I really should be only doing 10 to 15 hours of patient care. I'm doing 25 around that, sometimes 20. And so it's having the time to make sure I'm getting the things I need to get done so I can go home and be present and not thinking about business all the time.
Yeah.
There's big intention there, and I'm definitely getting a lot better with that. I wouldn't say it's a complete thing yet. But sometimes there's things that you just need to do and be able to handle that. And I recognize that stuff, and I know that's not a long-term strategy. It's for the short term. And
that's right.
We get more staff in, then we're good. But that's something where my intentions with that are like, whenever I'm home, I need to be home and present. So actually I've really done, I feel like, fairly well of I'm not working at home.
That's great.
As much. And so I have another office I can go to and get stuff done, to where I'm not just sitting in my office at home. Working on stuff.
A great test too. I mean, you guys just went to the Grand Canyon. What an easy place they could have lost you. But you're here. You're back. So they must like you.
Like I didn't get pushed off the rim
really,
anything.
I think you must be doing a good job.
Yeah, and that was the interesting thing too of, I'm like talking with business coaches and stuff like that, and just seeing all these different posts on all these different Facebook groups and things like that of all these practice owners that are out there. It was like, I can't take a vacation. I don't feel like I can leave and all that kind of stuff. I've never had that problem because I trust the staff that's been there, and I know that I think everybody's going to do what they need to. But this is probably, so we went on the spring break vacation to the Grand Canyon, and this is something where I would say probably 90% of the time I didn't think about business.
That's great.
And that is a huge thing.
That's a win
for me. I did my little Monday message just for the staff, just to say hey and all that kind of stuff. And really I was there to do stuff with my family.
Yeah.
And what a great thing. Whereas in the past when we've gone on vacations, it still is like, man, oh man, I could do this, I can do this, and I can do this for the business and all that kind of stuff, and it's still not turned off.
Well, you just gave so many entrepreneurs hope. But hope is a failed thought without action behind it. And so it didn't just happen, because Craig Groeschel always says, one of my favorite leaders, he always says a business does not automatically navigate towards ease. It navigates towards complexity. Yeah. And I didn't say it the way he says it, but it's just such the truth. Like you naturally go towards that way. And so what a testament to action and doing things the right way has led you to a point where you can actually forget that you own a business for a moment.
Yeah. So that was, now that I'm thinking about it, I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big step
That's
for me,
huge.
because it's like usually the other direction with that.
Yeah.
So all right. So now switching back to you.
Yep.
So I know one of your biggest goals was more of a personal thing, was to take care of yourself.
That's right.
So how have you done with that?
I don't know how, but I've lost about 10 pounds. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more work to do. I'm not being intentional about it. I'm doing a great job eating salads when I can.
Yeah.
You know, my wife is so awesome. She packs me the best salad in the world every day. I know it's not always about that, but it's like, it's something I enjoy, something I'll eat. I'm not going out and just getting the random stuff, but I am easily taken by someone saying, hey, you want to go out for lunch? You know, or, you know, oh, I guess I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I personally, for me, what I'm focusing on doing, and ultimately it's because I love my team so much. I have a new representative that just joined our agency, and, you know, he used to work on his feet a lot, and then he got another job and it was sitting down a lot, and he's like, Jeremy, I put on a lot of weight. I'm not happy with the way I look in videos, or I'm not happy with this, that, and the other. And so ultimately, because I love other people so much and it's so much easier to focus on them, you know, I've pretty much said, hey, a new perk of the office, I'm going to get you a membership to the Y.
Yeah,
but we're going to have to go together, and we're going to have to become much more intentional, because see, I failed in something we talked about before, is setting the real expectations and kind of getting upset when people aren't doing this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But I did not do a great job with setting a few goals with people in my office in several different roles of like, hey, this is what the activity really needs to look like.
Yeah.
Like, and so ultimately for me, this is going to be, hey, we need to get better at this. We need to start losing weight. I'm going to do this. It's going to be for you, but it's also going to be for me. But also now that we have 45 minutes less time, guess what we're going to have to do? We're going to get more intentional with our actions. Yep. And so ultimately it's things like that that are going to help me. I've just learned that I just don't care about myself that much. And I don't want to change that, because I don't want to become selfish. But what I've learned is that I have to tie helping other people to what I need to do as well, because when the mission's them, I get to be a byproduct winner. And maybe that can change over time, but I love not caring about myself. And I believe that is what sets me apart from some of my competition. And I don't want that to change. But at the same time, if I don't exist, obviously there goes my mission as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're not taking care of yourself, and you're not in a good place from a physical health standpoint and all that kind of stuff, you can't take care of others.
That's right.
Too.
And I think the biggest thing for me, and I'll be transparent and say this to you guys, is that I control everything that goes into my body. Yeah. So why the heck can't I control everything that goes into my body? Yeah. You know what I mean? I get invited to a pizza party. I could easily just say no. Yeah. But you boys over here like, what? You know, pizza party. So I think at the end of the day, for me, it's stepping up and realizing that, like, man, this is something that you easily can control. Yep. It's not the stock market. Yeah. This is like what you put in is what comes out, what the results are what the results are. And so I'm excited that this is in a weird way, that this is the least of the areas that we're winning in right now, because the other two would be really hard. It's like, I've got to go figure out and solve some puzzle. This one just simply is just a smack to the face and look in the mirror and say, dude, step up. Yeah. You know, but what we're doing is we're creating those ways. And so what I would say to you out there listening, and man, we're championing you. I hope that you're winning in every area. You're able to celebrate the success that we're having. You're able to be there in our failures and say, hey, you're going to get it. But we want to do the same for you. And so I know that for us, we're talking about the Facebook group. Yeah. You know, and how we really want to see that come to life a little bit. And we want to put ourselves out there and say, hey, come talk to us there. You know, Jim's already said that when he's done making his Monday motivation videos, he'll come and he'll be there. He'll be there fighting alongside with you. We want to champion you. We want to be there with you and really just help you overcome what you're struggling with, but also celebrate your wins. And that's the big thing. Celebrate those wins.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to challenge you so next time you're invited to a pizza party, the one way to guarantee to be the coolest person there is for you to bring your own like chicken breast. There you go. Or something like that.
This is why you're never at any pizza party I've been invited to.
I'm coming to the party, but I'm just bringing my own chicken breast.
This is why he's never at any party. He's just somewhere working out, giving someone awkward high fives.
That's the reason why.
I love your Monday motivations. You know, if you haven't seen it, go follow this man. Look at this awkward high five Monday motivation video. But he's awkward enough because he has to hang out with me all the time. So, well, guys, we are excited to continue this journey forward. It feels like yesterday, but it's going to be tomorrow that we're going to be talking about a year. We're going to be coming back to the year. So, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.